Goedemiddag, welkom bij de webinar van Itanex en AGA. Mijn naam is Peter Kip, ook aanwezig is Jokubas. Allereerst wil ik u vragen of ik goed te verstaan ben. Als u mij goed kunt horen, mag u op de knop Raise Your Hand klikken. Die vindt u in het menu van de GoToWebinar meeting. Nou, er staan al heel wat handen omhoog, dus ik ga ervan uit dat iedereen mij goed kan verstaan. Dit webinar wordt gehouden in listen-only mode. U kunt dus niet zelf spreken, maar u kunt wel eventuele vragen stellen via uw scherm. Wij proberen uw vragen zoveel mogelijk tijdens het webinar te beantwoorden. Als u na het webinar nog vragen heeft, neem dan contact met ons op. De contactgegevens verschijnen aan het einde van het webinar of kijk op www.itanex.com. Aan het einde van het webinar, als de vragen gesteld zijn en daar hebben wij zo goed antwoord op gegeven als wij kunnen, dan heb ik ook nog een aantal polls voor u. Om te kijken wat u van onze webinars vindt, wat u van de tool vindt en hetgene wat wij hebben uitgelegd. Wij organiseren dit webinar in samenwerking met Itanex, in samenwerking met AGA. Voor iedereen die ons nog niet kent, wil ik Itanex en AGA graag even kort aan u voorstellen. Itanex kan voor uw BIM multidisciplinair implementeren, zowel in het ontwerp, de realisatie en het beheer van uw modellen. Itanex bestaat sinds 1996 en we hebben meer dan 6000 CAD-werkplekken in Nederland. Ooit begonnen met Autodesk AutoCAD als basis, maar tegenwoordig implementeren we BIM bij bedrijven door geheel Nederland. Wij kunnen u helpen bij het verbeteren van uw processen op basis van onze materie- en productkennis. Daarnaast zijn wij een authorized Autodesk reseller en staan wij in de top 20 value-added resellers van Autodesk EMEA. En EMEA staat voor Europe, Middle East en Afrika. Naast de software van Autodesk hebben wij zelf Smart Revit. Het merendeel van u zal dit wellicht kennen. Smart Revit is een schil om Revit waarin wij uw processen willen versnellen. De tool BIM Tree Manager, de tool CAD Opening, die we in het webinar behandelen, is onderdeel van Smart Revit, maar is ook beschikbaar als losstaande tool. AGA is een ontwikkelaar van Revit add-ons met meer dan 5000 licenties in meer dan 45 landen. AGA bestaat sinds 1991 en heeft meer dan 20 werknemers. Het doel van AGA is ervoor te zorgen dat u als gebruiker meer winst haalt uit uw workflow. Hiermee wordt ingezet op het versnellen van het proces en het wegnemen van verspillingen. Dan geef ik nu het woord aan Jokubas. Jokubas, you can switch to your screen and start with your part of the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Hello, everybody. It is nice to see you here. And I want to say something about our company, as we are AGCAD and we are creating the solutions for Autodesk Revit. So here is the bucket of our solutions that can fit all of your needs. So we have the solutions for MEP engineers for fire protection design, ventilation design, heating design, hangers. As well, we have the cut opening that we will show to you today, that goes for making openings around MEP line based elements. As well, we have the tools for Revit add-ons, just a little add-ons that can increase your work productivity for creating legends, exporting Excel to Revit, making cut openings, the free version, and so on. So we will speak about that a little bit later. As well, we have the smart assemblies, metal framing and wood framing for structural engineers for rafter, trusses, walls, floors, and so on. As well, we have the smart browser that goes for browsing of the libraries and managing them. So it's very powerful tool for BIM managers, library managers, and so on. As well, we have the sustainable design tools that can calculate energy, performances, energy costs, and so on. As well, we have the BIM Tree Manager that stands for LOD management and the BIM project management. But today, we want to speak about the cut opening and the cut opening free version. So the cut opening defines and receives spaces in Revit model for ducts, pipes, cable trays, and conduits. Structural engineers and architects can then review, revise, and create the approved holes by a click. This is suitable. Openings are designed automatically based on the location of the and types of the clashes detected from MEP elements in current, linked, and IFC models. As well, today I will speak about the cut opening free, and this is kind of the same thing, but it has less functionalities. So the cut opening free easily cuts holes in the places where MEP ducts, pipes, cable trays, and conduits intersects walls, floors, ceilings, or roofs. This add-on manages the creation of openings using Revit interference check results. So I just want to go fastly to my Revit, and here I have a little sample project. Here you can find the ducts, here you can find pipes, here you can find cable trays and conduits. So our solution is working in Eenvoudige BIM tools doc, and you can find the cut opening over here, as well the cut opening free over here. So you can drag and drop over here your own tools, and you can use them just fastly from here. So in the very beginning, how the tool is working, the tool is using interference check information from Revit, and it is importing information to the cut opening solutions. So at the very beginning, what I will do, I will run the interference check in between different elements, in between MEP elements and the structural elements. So for example, I will use the cut opening free at the beginning. So I will use, for example, ducts and walls, and I will run the interference check. So the Revit finds all the clashes that are in our model, just in between ducts and walls. So what I can do, I can export all the information to the external sources, like using the export functionality from Revit. I will use okay, walls and ducts, cut opening free. So I'm just saving the file, HTML file, just for further work with cut opening. So while I'm clicking on my cut opening, here you will find all the possible features of cut opening. So the cut opening free could read the interference check data and insert MEP openings just straightly in the same positions where it clashes, like where we find the wall and the duct clash. So at the very beginning, I will read the interference check data from the file that I saved on my desktop in the wall and duct cut opening free file, and it automatically will find all the clashes that we saved into the model. So as you can see, what do we have here? We have a really simple dialog block where we can do some configurations in the left side of the dialog block. For example, if I need to sort my elements by levels and by types, for example. So what I'm gonna see here, I see the level number 1, such ducts, as well as such ducts. I see the second floor elements and so on. So what I can do some additional cut offsetting for any of these elements, just separately, or I can do that like manually or for all the building and so on. So as well, what I can do, I can change the opening shape. For example, if I have the opening MEP line-based element round, but I want to do that rectangular, it doesn't matter, it can hold that. So I can do these possibilities for my holes, and after all these will be done, we can, for example, export that to the external source like Excel spreadsheet. So you will see all the information about your openings just in the Excel. So it is one of the possibilities of cut opening. So after all the configurations will be done, we will save this file, as the external XML file, just to read that information afterwards. So cut opening free XML file. So I'm saving that, and I will go to insert MEP openings. So now all the information about the offsets, about the opening shapes is saved in our file. So anytime you can just send your XML file to your colleague, and your colleague could do the work, the rest of the work. So it doesn't matter if you are MEP engineer, architect, or structural engineer, you can do your work and you can send that to your colleague. So I'm browsing the cut opening free XML file, and as you can see, all the things that we said before is still here: the cut offset, the opening shape. So anytime you will need, you can take this XML file and just send to your colleague. So this is very nice possibility. After you see that all the things are correct, you are inserting the openings just straightly into the model. So the cut opening free is going all around the building. It is looking for all the clashes in between the walls and the ducts in this case, and it is inserting separate elements in each of the places. So after I'm clicking OK and here OK, we will get to our model, and you will see that we have created openings. So here we just created the rectangular opening where we have the round duct. Here we have the round ducts and the round openings. So anytime you can do something manually. For example, you can change the cut offset of element and so on. But the cut opening free still has the possibility to modify MEP openings. So if I will click here, you will see all the element cut offsets and the opening shapes. So if it's needed, I can change the value to 100 and say OK, and it automatically will recreate all the openings with the new parameters. So that is the possibilities of cut opening free and what cut opening free can do. And I want just to switch to another one that is more powerful and has more possibilities. So this is the cut opening, just a cut opening professional version. So as you can see here, the cut opening, not the free version, has more possibilities. So one of the possibilities is the configuration. So what we can do, we can auto join the elements that are near each other. So we can auto join by clicking on this button. As well, we have the auto join offset. So that means what will be the distance in between two elements to join these two holes into one big hole. As well, we have the included intersection. So that stands for example, for diffusers that are mounted on the wall or something like this. So if we have diffuser over here and the pipe do not cross over the wall, but it just reaches the wall, so the solution can cut such places or cannot. As well, we have the minimum opening size, so that goes for width, height, and diameter. For example, it is even easier to drill the holes in the building site, not to manage all the things in the BIM model, but still, if it's needed, you can just minimize your opening size to do all the holes in the building. So after this, I will save that, and again, I can run the interference check in between ducts and walls. I will say OK, I will export ducts and walls, and I will read the interference check data again for the same file, for the same ducts, and ducts and walls just open. And you will see that we have the same possibilities as the free version of our cut opening free. So what can I do? I can show or not show the opening hosts. So I will see only the elements that are crossing the structural or architectural model. As well, we have the dynamic section box that is cutting the elements, everything all around the element, and it is showing the place where our MEP line-based element is crossing the structural element. So this is very useful thing just to find all the things in the building. So it is really nice. As well, we have the configure grouping, the same things as before. As well, we have the exportation to the Excel, and one more thing. What do we have here is the MEP parameters. So anytime you can take the available parameters for the family and just transfer that to the project, just to sort something, or for example, I need the sizes. I can distinct value in columns, just these ones. You will see only these. I will change the cut offset for only such elements. I will just turn off all filters, and you can see that I have all the elements here. As well, I can change the element shapes as before, as I showed to you before. So after all the configurations will be set over here, I can save the active view as the XML file, as I showed to you before, with the free version. But at the moment, I can use insertion of the openings. So only by a click, I will insert all the openings in the building. As well, I will join them, and I will include the intersections, and I wouldn't cut something smaller than the elements smaller than 100 millimeters. So after all these are done, we can check the project. As you can see, we have 3 ducts that are near each other, and we have only one hole here. As well, we have changed the shape of the element. As well, we have here the intersection that the duct is not crossing the whole wall, so it just reaches the wall, and the cut opening is creating the opening over here. As well, the cut opening has the possibility. I will click on the openings. It has the possibility to join the openings. As you can see, it can be automatically joined, or if it's needed, I can unjoin the opening. As well, I can go to this place, and I can try to unjoin these elements. So again, I have 3 different holes over here. So anytime you can manage with your ducts, pipes, cable trays, and so on. So if I will go to the plan views, for example, to the second floor plan, you can see that I have the graphical representation of each of the holes over here in the building. So this is just a generic model family that has the graphical representation. So if it's needed, you can just go inside of the element of the family and create your own representation of the family. Just be careful about all the stuff, all the formulas, and so on. So anytime you can turn off or turn on these graphical representations, like we have them black, and if it's needed, I can just turn off filled region, and you will see that they will be all just white, the black stripes in such a way. So anytime you will need the graphical representation, do not forget to turn on the filled region. As well, I get a bucket of questions can we tag such elements? So because the clients usually takes the element, going through all the parameters, and they do not see the elevation of the element. So we have inserted the possibility to calculate openings elevation. For example, if I am taking all the elements and I will ask the solution to calculate top, bottom, shared, project or level elevations, as well I can calculate the coordinates on X and Y axes, but I will show just the elevation. So after I'm clicking here, the solution is suggesting me to create the new shared parameter that could be used in tagging, for example, in scheduling and so on. So I'm clicking here, top elevation duct opening. I'm saying OK, and the solution is automatically creating new parameter, new shared parameter, and it is inserting the values, it is calculating the values for each of these elements. So after I will click OK, I will try to tag these elements, and I do not have the loaded tag, so I'm going back to the generic model, open, and I think here, yeah, I catched. So it's still, here is still nothing. So I'm going to edit my tag family, and I'm going here into the label. I'm just removing the element, and I'm going to add the parameter. The parameter from the shared parameter file from the cut opening things. So this is the top elevation duct opening. So I'm clicking OK. I'm saying OK. I'm dragging it here. Apply. OK. Load into the project. Override. Voila. We have the elevation, top elevation of each element. So we can calculate the top elevation, bottom elevation. We can combine that in the tagging and so on. And after that, so we can use tag all functionality with leader and so on. So that's what we have. So this is really nice thing that you can calculate the elevation, the coordinates, and use that in the building site and so on. So we just done everything with ducts, but you can get the question how it works with the different elements. So it works really easily. If I will turn off everything, and I will try just to delete all the generic models that have families of the openings. So I just deleted everything, yes, and I'm again going to run the interference check data in between cable trays, conduits, ducts, and pipes in between walls, floors, ceilings. As well, I want to mention that this solution is working as well with structural frames, structural beams, columns, and so on. So it is finding all the clashes in between different elements, and it can insert the opening inside of this element. So after this, I will do OK, cut opening webinar, and I'm going to read the interference check data. I am browsing the element, the file. And now, as you can see, we have removed elements from interference check data, and we can see removed elements report. So it is showing all the elements that was removed. If you remember, okay, I will close. They are too small because of the configurations. We have the configuration of minimum opening size. So we have 100, 100, and 100. If I will click on such pipe, you will see that diameter is 50. And again, if I will try to run the interference check data for that file, it is automatically removing elements from the interference check data. So as you can see, it is showing which elements it is removing. So, and it is writing the purpose why it is removing that the opening by intersection is too small to be placed. So after I'm clicking OK, I will never see these again. So I will see only my needed elements. So I have, for example, the cable trays, conduits, ducts, and pipes. If it's needed, what I can do, I can group openings by hosts. Again, it is going by ceilings, floors, and walls. So you can find your needed way to work and your needed way to save your time, just to save your time. So again, I'm just inserting some new parameters here. I'm changing the element shape and so on. So after this is done, I'm going to insert and modify elements. So it is detecting all the elements all around the building, and at the moment it is going through, and in all the clashes it is inserting the elements. Okay. So as you can see, we have 60 elements, and we have 34 openings just because of the outer join functionality. And as you can see, we have the cable trays. We have the cable trays here, the conduits here. We have the cable trays. We have the things in the ceilings and so on. So as well, I want to say to you that we have the graphical representation for ceilings and floors and ceilings and roofs. We have the same representation as well. So as you can see, the solution is working with all the elements. So you do not hesitate to try the solution and how it is working. I get the bucket of questions how the openings will move if I will move my main element like duct. So as you can see, the hole remains in the same position, but I can check the consistency of openings and MEP. So it is again going and detecting all the opening changes, and okay, as you can see, we have the wall and generic model for the round opening is changed. So what I can do, I can insert the upload for that element. Okay. As you can see, after clicking OK, the opening is here. Yeah, I can just do bigger offset just for graphical representation. So using the cut opening free, you will have just to rerun the interference check again, and reread interference check data again, and reinsert MEP openings into the model. As well, I wanted to show to you how the cut opening is working with the linked files. So if I have the architectural model linked into the MEP model, or otherwise the MEP model linked into a regular architectural model, I can use the cut opening. So the cut opening, for example, the free version, couldn't read the interference check data. So if I will run here in the project the interference check in between pipes and ducts, here you can see pipes and several of ducts, and I will try to run the architectural model that is linked inside of this project, and I'm going to check all these. So the Revit is finding all the clashes, so I can export that linked file, and I will try to use the cut opening free. So the cut opening free will say to us that the cut opening free does not work with linked files. So as I said to you, the cut opening free is not working, but the solution is the main cut opening, the pro version. So it can read the interference check data in between linked files. I will open that, and I cannot go to insert and modify openings. So what I'm going to do, for example, I'm going to do the cutoff setting in here. Okay, and I'm going to save the active view. Okay, link XML file. So I'm saving that, and the cut opening should insert the opening elements in the real Revit elements, not in the linked ones, but in the real walls, in the real floors, in the real ceilings, in the real elements, as I said before. So I am closing the file, the linked file, and I'm going to the cut opening architectural model that do not include any of the line-based MEP elements. So I'm opening my doc again, and what I can do, I can insert MEP openings from the XML file using my cut opening. So as you can see, all the information about the cut offsets and the opening shapes are still here, and after clicking OK, it is inserting all the openings into the building. Again, if I will delete this and I will try to use the cut opening free, so cut opening free could not read the interference check data, but if your colleague will do that with a regular cut opening and he will send the information in the XML file to you, you will be able to insert that openings into the model. So let's try. So I'm using the cut opening free, insert MEP openings from linked file, and I have again the same cut offsets and the same opening shapes. So I'm inserting the openings, I'm saying OK, OK here, and as you can see, the cut opening free is still powerful one, but it is free. So I suggest you to try both of them because they are free of charge for 14 days for the trial version cut opening. As well, we have the cut opening free that is free and you can try. So if I will save this project, okay, I said that, and I'm going back to my cut opening linked file, so you will see that I have the openings over here in my linked Revit model. So it is really nice thing. It is brilliant perfectly, and I suggest you to try this solution. And I think from my side for today it's enough, and anytime you can just contact me or Peter for any kind of questions, and we will try to help you as soon as possible. So thank you again, and Peter? Peter?
Yes, I'm back again. I have, do you see the questions? There are some questions in English, and I think you can answer the questions if you want.
Okay. So I'm looking for the question.
The first question is: the cut opening also possible in curtain panels?
No, it's not possible. No, it's not the first question. I think so. So we have Sior's question: what if you use linked files? In which file do you create the free openings? So the opening should be inserted in the real architectural model, where you will find all the real elements like walls, floors, ceilings, beams, columns, frames, and so on.
Yes, so you put the openings in the model where the openings need to be,
Yes.
not in the map model, but in the model from the structural engineer or the architect.
Okay, I see Mikhail's question. If I use a linked model, for example, architect model, so I just described all the things I guess. As well, I see the Michael's question, can I use the interference check also for making a void? So it is, the opening is basically it is creating a void, and all the material takeoffs will be better after making openings. So because it is creating a void, just speaking literally, it is creating a void.
Yes, it creates a family within the void.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then there's a Dutch question. There's the Dutch question. If they placed already in the map model, how can we export this to a architectural model? The openings should be placed in the architectural model, not in the map model, because it's a tool for the architect to get the information from the map engineer to take over the openings where they're supposed to be.
Yes.
And then there's also another question that I don't understand that question because it says this is the workaround for the linked files with the free version. Do you understand the question, Jakubas?
Which one?
This is the workaround for the linked files with the free version.
Yes, that was the workaround. Just tips and tricks from AgaCAD.
Okay.
Okay, I see more questions. Reinder is asking, how can a cut opening be disapproved? So that means if the MEP engineer is sending to you the information in XML file, you can add some comments to that file. You can create parameters in the file and just write something inside of that and resend it back, and it can find all the comments in the XML file as well. As well, I see one more question. Are these possibles for constraints? Okay, so Jan is asking, is it possible to create openings depending on the material? In my case, concrete floor. So not an offset, but a range of sizes. So you can filtrate all the elements as I showed to you before. Just a second. If I'm going here, I will read again something. It's link file. So yes, you can do the filtration of elements and so on and so on. So it can work in such a way. As well, we are working on the new cut opening version, where you will be able, for example, if you have a duct of 100 millimeters, you have to cut the opening of 100 millimeters. If you have a duct of 200 millimeters, you have to create a duct of an opening of 120 millimeters. So you will be able to set all these parameters before you start the working. Like you can create your template for working, and you will be able just again by one click insert all the openings. So, but that's in the near future.
I've got another Dutch question. I will translate it for you, and I hope you can help me with the answer, Jakubas.
Okay.
There is a question, and it asks if you're a map user, you don't need this tool because the architect has to place the openings. And I think the right answer is when you have to collaborate with an architect, when you're a map engineer, then you have to provide the architect with the information that you can put in the map openings with the configuration and with the HTML export, so the architect can use the cut opening free to insert the HTML file to put the correct openings on the right place that you have provided as a map engineer.
Yes, Peter. Yes, you are very, very nice. Very good answer.
Okay, so it is just it is an exactly collaboration tool from two sides. You have to put information in the tool and in the models.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't see any questions.
Me neither. I don't see any questions anymore. No further questions. Yes, there's one. Okay, there's another question from another user who is asking is, will there be an update for curtain walls, construct curtain walls? Yeah, I have to ask Jacobas.
So Jeffrey, if you can explain wider the situation, what you need, just by email or something like this, and we will try to do something.
Okay, I will get the information, the email address and everything from Jeffrey, and then I will get to contact with him.
Okay, very nice.
Okay, thank you. Oké, thank you very much. Dames en heren, bedankt voor uw aandacht. Ik heb nog een aantal polls voor u. We willen graag weten wat u hiervan vindt en of u dit handig vindt. Dus ik zal de polls even opstarten. En dan komt hier zo de vraag. Komt de eerste. Oh, wacht, dan moet ik wel naar mijn scherm. Oké, dank u wel. Volgende poll. Vraag 2, dank u wel. Nogmaals bedankt. Eén laatste vraag. Nogmaals bedankt. Dan heb ik nog een laatste vraag waar u antwoord op kunt geven. En voor de laatste keer, dank voor uw aandacht. En dan sluit ik ook deze poll. Ik heb nog twee mensen die ik ga bellen. Die zullen dat waarschijnlijk wel weten, want die hebben een vraag gesteld hierover. Die ga ik nog contact mee opnemen. Jakuba, thank you very much for your presentation.
No problem, thank you all.
Every attendee, thank you very much for your mindfulness. Thank you very much.
Okay, have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye.